Okay. It says, Action is boyer ekor ein so eich. Or ein so baruch mislavish bepenimius kolchas sfiros v'holomos. It's very important to understand. And also anto the farish lanu ofen ha'atzolos ha'eses sfiros. Beseder ha'midanasach v'chabederik gimel kavim chesedin v'rachamim. So he said, V'idin eses sfirin inin oslin kasidrin, V'elach of eses sfiris heim chochos kasidrin, V'haseder shalachem ku al derek gimel kavim. Chad arek, echad aruch, Shuhu kav ha'chesed, Shadarko lehis arech, V'lahashpia b'li gavul, V'chad katz katsir, V'chad katzer, ku kav hadin, Shuhu hamida, Hamakatzeres and monos is pashtas or, so it's the opposite force. It's the force that stops everything. Let's see how or. V'chad beindidi ve'echa beindidi ku kavim soy hamachri. It's the balance line. Bein chesed the din k'dei lahashpia ha'or b'mida v'al pi hatzorech. Okay, give me 1 second here. And let's see how we're doing. So we have to come back over here to now the number Kaf Bet down below. That's where we're at. Al pi zichron nimnachim. Became causative v'ber l'chai rawi. Al pi hanodim macharizal. Become a bekomas b'prat be'etz chaim. He says it in Shar Rapach, Periches. He says, Asher ha'eses sfiras nechlokim l'gimel kavim. They're all divided into 3 different lines. And we know this, but he's telling us to us anyway. Yamin is small em soy, v'hain sha'sfiru shal kav yamim shehein chachan, hein cholchen mispashtim bilti gavul, umidach of the kitzvah, that's its nature, it floods, it could flood. V'ha'sfiras bogo, Shebekav small ma'akeves ve'ena menachas l'ha'or ha'elyon l'his pashet klal. V'gimel sfiros shebechem, so it's finished shebekav emsoy. So he said v'gimel sfiros shebekav emsoy, which is dati, machriya b'nechem l'his pashet b'mida b'mud amutzos, in a balanced way. I think that's really what that means. The tzorach. For kiyam almost below yoser more than that, no more than that. Zechasha amber ve'elach eses sfiros inun oslin kasidrin. What's kasidrin mean? Haida kaderek haseder b'rias ha'olam shehoya hayadecha ha'gimel kavim, and the creation of our world is really through this. Bechinas his pashta v'tzimtzum umidach ha'machras magvil. Hamakom sheis pashe the or velo yoser, so it brings boundaries in a balanced way. Velo amar had arech, v'lezel amar had arech haida shechachosadim shebekav yamim ma'arech or lehis pashe. It extends, an extender lahashpil l'tachtonim b'li shum simsum. That's the idea over there. I see what you said. I forgot. What is it? I have this, you don't have it. Okay, wow. I should have done this yesterday. I'm going to do it right now. Sorry about that. I'm looking at it, and let's go on. We're at the bottom, really, of page Tov Sadi Dalet. And we just have one little paragraph. So he said, well, actually, there's a little bit more. He says, "V'chad kotzer chaynish midis hagavul." You see where that is? Midis hagavul, rather. Shebekav sol mekotzer ma'akev or ha'or meha elyon milhubhashne klal. So just saying that's the nature of the left line. V'chad beinani. And there's also balances. Hainu shebetfer shebemse machriya b'nehem. Lashbia rock the fiat sork v'lo yoser, only what is needed. V'chein hu b'chabad v'nai, same thing over there. Now what they say? V'chein hu b'chabad v'nai. So he says, what does that mean exactly? Let's go on a little bit. I didn't really quite catch that. So if he says that one's short, and then there's a balance, v'chad beinunei, hainu sheteferes shebe'emza machrir b'neichem lahashpia rak lefi hatzorach v'lo yoser v'chein hu b'chabad b'nai. So what did he mean to say that? He meant to say that this is referring to the Chagat. Specifically, he's pointed to that, not just in general, but he's saying that the same situation happens in the Chabad Chagat 9. I'm not sure what he meant by that. Ovishas Ratzon cause of the Levayar Inyan Oslim Considrin. What does that mean that they go in their order? Because this really sounds like Chad Samcha. So he said, so it is the order in which they come out one after another. It doesn't mean that they come out in Kav Echad. Ki dechila ha'atza le'enzo baruchus sefirot hakeser v'acher kach, and then that's how this went. We know this is how it goes. V'acher kach ha-keser ha'atzel as a chochma v'chochma atzel l'sabina, and that's so. In other words, he says it like this: v'acher kach ha'binda chatzilus hazayin l'tachtonis kuhu eim ha'bonim v'kam heim ne'atzlu kasidrim, and they also come out one at a time. Dekida chesed v'acher kach gevura, etc. Ad ha'achron. I think it's supposed to be malchus nukva dezer anpen. There's a little mistake there. Re Eitz Chaim, look over the Eitz Chaim Shar HaNekudim. He said, "Pirish Oslim Kasidron." What does that mean? Shohara Ein So Shofeya Besocha Sfiros. It really streams into the Sfiros. Shene'atz L'chazu Bezu. That really, now he's saying it's a little bit of a chiddush to me, but they said they come out one for the next. So I guess you have the same idea. He says that one holds in one of them, just like you had in the Shvira, but in this case they work because of the three lines. One sounds like one holds what's in it, what's coming after it. So he says, Shvira shene'atz l'zu v'over v'meir ma'achas the reusa, so they start shining into each other. V'hi'avshalo lahaktim v'lo la'acher ad kan, and as a result of it, it's impossible for one to come first, v'lo la'acher, and not another one. So I'm not sure whether something I slightly missed, or ain't so shofei b'sochos sefirish and etzlazu bazu, v'omer b'meir ma'achas the reusa, v'hi'avshalo lahaktim v'lo al-acher ad kan. So in other words, one of them is not more dominant than the next. They all shine into each other and work in that way, I guess. Let's go on a little bit. He says down back up at the top, he says, V'afal pi sheha'olam misnageg al yedecha be'eses sfiros. So not, even though we know that the world now runs through the medium of eser sfiros, he says, ha'pu'ulos al derech chesed din v'rachamim, and so those are actually the actions, and this is the mistake found in astrology also. Im kol zecha ba'ant hu da'an higlon. It's you that makes them run. Atuchu sheman higosocha kitzoncha, according to your will. V'leis man da'an higloch. Ve'en mi sheyan hig osoch ki heim einem machrichim osom la'ach socha kabidasam, because they einem machrichim, they don't force them osoch la'asos kabidasam. What does that mean? Ki heim einem machrichim, balancing, or machrichim, forcing osoch la'asos kabidasam. It's not them. So he says, number Kaf Gimel, let's see, what did he mean there? Number Kaf Gimel, he says, or according to the Be'er L'chai Roi, he says, the Kamosha Kasa B'shomer Amunim. He said, V'de'im hiyo shahapa'ulos nifa'alos al yedecha ha'sfiros im kol zecha b'lo yitzdak lo yaches ha'pa'ulos al ha'sfiros. Even though, it wants to say, that it appears that that's actually, they have midos, and therefore they have power for those of us who are down below, but then their power only comes kim ala manhig osam hu ha'en so baruch hu baruch shemo ein sham. Now looking at the Ramak, he says, let's look at the Ramak. He says, Ramak b'pardes, kosav ezel l'shono. He says, hakavana ki im hi yos miyosha amr sheshinu echadin v'harachmin v'shar hashinuim, all these differences that we see coming out of these midos, and they're also like the Sheva Kochve Lechet too, it's the same 7. He says, hey mitzad hasfiros, lo mifnei kach niyachas ha'pa'ulos aleichem. It's not because of this we say that it really action comes from them. She'ein ha'pa'ula alach yedechem ha'manhig ha'ma'atzel, shuhu ha'neshama ha'nispashet b'sochem. It's the pneumius of them that is shining out. So he said, "D'chaynacha eses sefirot shehem atzmos kedifrashti v'perik dalet." So it's like we're going to have some concept here of atzmos. He says sefirot shehem atzmos kedifrashti v'perik dalet. They're actually the essence of this. Essence, pneumius. Ki hayedecha b'koyach ha'chofef aleichem. And here's an interesting phrase. Chofef means surrounds. So first of all, he's been talking about the light that's inside of them and making them shine, but he says ki al yedech hakoach hachoyfev alechem, that surrounds them, the atmosphere that is around them, hamanhig osam, which runs them, karoa edro, it's like a person who's leading a shepherd, who's leading his flock. So therefore, the flock is large, but there's something that leads them. So this is like slightly different than what's inside of them. It's really directional. But the call of Shech Yachbots Yete ve'ein manhig osachol zulaso umoshia ein bilto. There is no other one that is their shepherd. So I said that the one that leads them. Zulaso besides him, Umoshia ein bilto, there's no possibility of saving them or protecting them, except him. So here we are in the situation that we find ourselves now in war. Ein bilto, kedimyon nefesh, shachapulus heim al yedera benefesh, v'shinuyim al yedera beguf, and the pulas come through the nefesh. But the nefesh, he said, kedimyon nefesh pa'ulas heim al yedera nefesh. The actual action comes from them. The shinoyim v'yedera beguf, but the differences come from the guf itself. In other words, it's manifest in the body. Kedifrishti sham, as explained over there. V'nimsa defi zeh ki ha'chesed v'chadin v'charachmin. Those 3 lines. Heim ba'arkam shehem bali shinui. They're actually the agents of action, of change. V'hakoyach el ha'pu'ula hu ha'atzmos. But what actually causes the change to take place is what's inside of them, the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. There's a little number, Beit Daled. Let's read down behind number Kaf Gimel and see what it says up above. So he says, so it had said, the black print, Antu the Anhig Lon, Lis Man the Anhig Loch. So that's where we're at, right? Oh, that's where we just read. Lo La'ela, he said, V'lo L'sata, V'lo Mikol Sitra, not from any other side and not from anywhere else. It is only you that runs all reality. Now, number Kaf Daled, so I guess we could read a little bit more. V'lo Mikol Tzad, the Hain the Sheshisha Kitzvah Sha'al Yadam Munhag Ha'olam, Ki Kol Elach HaSpiris Pa'ulos Al Pi Ritzon Ch'bilvad. That's it. So let's see number Kaf Daled. Okay, he says number Kaf Daled says Al Pi Ber L'chai Roi. He says V'shas Ratzon, I guess it's safer. He says Bir V'zel L'shonu Lo La'ela Mitzad Kav Ha'Ein Sof Baruch Hu Shemispashid V'yored Mislavish B'Penimius Ta'ak V'lo L'sata. So what does he mean by not up above? He's talking about the Kav itself, the ultimate Ein Sof. Ha'ak V'lo L'sata V'ad Hechon mispashet. So there's a question: is how far does it go down? Now, this is maybe a little bit open for me. They're not understanding exactly what he means. If he's talking about the kav is only mispashet towards the bottom of the igulim, if that's what he means. How far does it go down into Ak? Below the Sata, not out of Ak, and doesn't go further than a certain level. To what point is it mispashet v'yored kava kodesh ahu b'sof pnimius the Ak? How far does it go down? Lo mikol sitra. And he says not from every side. What does that mean? Sod mash meir ha'ein sof. So according to the secret of what is shown for the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, b'partzufi atzilus malvishim as Ak, which cover over Ak. So we said that how far does it go? So as Ak mitibur v'lamata ki b'atzilus shayach lomer aber ruchos ha'olam ad kan. I'm not sure that I got that. I'll just sort of read some of this again because I got a little bit off. He said, "Ad hechon mispashet." Now that's a question. Like I say, well, I'm not sure what he means. So he says that I guess it means. So let's go to Yor. So what it does is Yoredim mislavish b'penimis da'ak v'lo l'tata, but it doesn't go any further than that. Now, exactly what he means, not below that. So he said, "Ad hechon mispashet v'yored kav hakodesh aku." Unto what point does this kav spread? Abyssal penimius the Ak, inside of the penimius of Ak, below Mikol Sitra, and not everywhere else. So what does that mean? So this, he says, this statement, what we're learning here, is a sod masha meir ha'ein sof baruch hu b'partzufi ha'atzilus. It's according to how much the Ein Sof Baruch Hu shines into the partzufim of the Atzilus, hamalvishim as Ak, that actually cover over Ak, from the Tibur Lamata, Ki b'chatzilus shaychel lomer arba ruchos olam ad kan. Now that last phrase is really what I want to read again. What does he mean? It says in one line that only goes, sounds like it only goes into Ak. After Ak, it's not one line anymore. And after Ak, it's possible that there are four lines, four ruchos, four directions, not just one. Not sure what that means. What that could mean. Let's go on. So now we're in another little piece. Let's see, 6:10. So he says, so now that we saw the development of the spacing out of the sefirot, the Olam Achatzilus, Ein Sof Baruch Hu, and all that coming from Ein Sof Baruch Hu. So he says, Yeboyer, Yachas Olomos Bia La'olam Achatzilus. So what is the relationship between the outside worlds, which are Bia, and Atzilus Vishlavish Behen? So he says, Levushim Tekinun Lon. So were prepared for them. Levushim Shehem Shlosha Olomos Bri Yitzir V'Nesiya. So he has a special word that he's using for this, that he uses the word garments. So the garments are the outer worlds, the world's Bia, of Bia. So he said, let's see it. Tekanas, the essence spheres, the tzilus, and he says what? He says that tekanta, maybe it means he says tekanta, that you established. Let's say the essence spheres, the tzilus al manashu yukla tachton the kabbalah oran. So this is the concept. It's matas, that light that going through each one of those does that. The Binachu Parchim Nishmasin, the Benechabel, because from this is where the neshamas of people come from. He says Parchim. I think it means Parchim is like flowers or sprouts. Sheme'elach halavushim Porchos neshamas the Bnei Adam, so they sprout from that the neshamas of people. Because that's where the shama comes from. Okay, we could get that. Now, why he said this, I'm not sure exactly this last part. So, Vakama Gufim Tekinas Loan. What does that mean? Vakama Gufim. What if multiple bodies? You made a tikkun. In other words, you allow the light to become continuously mismayit. Vakama Gufim, and so he has a new word. It's the word Gufim. Shem Kliya, which is the Keli of the Eser Spheros. This word, the way I would have read it would be Kliya as the Spheros, doesn't work out. So I made it Keli as the Spheros. The Agufim, Shehim, the Kelim of the Eser Spheros, Atzilus Tiknu L'or Spheros. That the Atzilus Tikanta L'or Spheros, so that you put them into the Spheros, this concept, this goof. This Korea goofing the Gabi Levushim the Mechasem Alecha, because relatively speaking, that we would see these as goofing or panemius in regards to the outer world. She'elach HaSfiras Atzilus Nekroim Goof La'umas HaLevushim, in regards to the Levushim, Shehem Gimel Olamos, which are the three worlds of Bia Amachasim Alechem, which cover over them. Ki Afsha HaSfiras the Atzilus Heim Ruchni, so since we see that these spheres are all Ruchni, V'Chalukuz Gamar, HaRecha Shebe'erech Spheres Bia, that in relationship to the spheres of Bia, and the Akroin Levushim, which are called Levushim, Nechshavim Heim Kaguf Panimi, they're considered to be like a body inside of them. So I'm going to stop here. Wait a minute, there's still more. Or that is it. Kaguf Panimi. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and we'll go pick up the notes on this and look at it a little bit more closely, talking about the inside of reality.